So this is the tricky one, right? So again, I continue to be a longer term, very big bull on gold. I still think we're going north of 2,500 by year end. But the question is we've had such a dramatic move to the upside, which is pretty unusual for gold to have such a straight up move. Are we due for just a little bit of a pullback? And the only thing I could see here is if you look at the chart of gold and you go back to 1980, that massive spike in 1980, if you connect that to the 2011 high, we have a high which we're piercing now. And so I guess the bigger question is do we have a little bit of a check back, pullback before we make that next move to the upside? And again, part of that's going to be watching the US dollar, watching rate expectations, all of these things kind of queuing into what the ultimate end game is here. But for me, if I had to kind of just play out what I think will happen, I would say a small pullback, maybe back to 2,200, and then the next leg up takes us pretty much vertically to that 25 and change level.
Gareth Soloway stated that gold could actually close at a new all-time high today, showing great strength this year. After hovering around the 2050-2060 level for a while, it broke out near the end of last year, which got people excited. Although it came back down, he believes it now has more strength and staying power in this current rally. He said the macro setup looks amazing, something gold bugs have been talking about forever. Soloway was asked about the current setup for gold and mentioned that it's tough for things to keep going up without any corrections. He thinks some caution might be warranted, but there's also a chance that gold could rally to 2,500 soon. Soloway also mentioned that he's a long-term bull on gold and still thinks it could go north of 2,500 by the end of the year. He pointed out that with such a dramatic move to the upside, which is unusual for gold, there might be a bit of a pullback. According to him, if you look at the gold chart and go back to 1980, connecting that massive spike to the 2011 high, there's a high point being pierced now. He questioned whether there will be a small pullback before the next upward move. He thinks part of this will depend on watching the US dollar and rate expectations. Soloway predicted a small pullback to around 2,100-2,200 before the next leg up, which could take gold vertically to that 2,500 level.
And your thoughts on the gold miners at present? They've also rallied alongside the gold price. Do you expect gold miners, at least the majors, to track the gold price? Or do you think there could be any divergence there?
Yeah, so I do expect them to even lead the gold price. And I think the key is this, is that, the gold miners really suffered for the last few years. They were underperforming gold by a mile. The reason they underperformed is because inflation was so high and the gold price wasn't going up to compensate them for the additional costs that they were taking on because of inflation. So they saw their profit margins dropping and so on and so forth. Now we're starting to see gold play catch up where it's shooting up. As long as gold goes up faster than inflation, the miners actually should outperform here. Now, having said that, same kind of deal. If we look at the GDX, there's this amazing trend line here, which we are just up against. So short term, we're a little extended on the GDX. I think a small pullback is in order, maybe back to about 32 from 34, 33, where we are right here. But then I think, again, the next wave of buying comes in, and I think this takes it up back to the 2023 highs, which is around 36. And ultimately, if gold does go to 2,500 plus, I think the gold miners go even higher.
And silver trading above $28 as we speak at the moment. This has silver stackers very excited, as they are known to be some of the longest suffering holders of a metal. There's been experts that come on various shows talking about how silver is going to $50 every year for a very long time now. How do you see the setup currently for silver? What would it take to get silver back to previous all-time highs of close to 50?
Wow, that would be, listen, I do think eventually the all-time highs will be tested on silver. But the first step is obviously to take out the $30 level, which was our 2020 high, right? So the biggest question I have is with silver is that, right now it's kind of getting that momentum trade, which probably does take it to about $30. The question is, being partially that industrial metal, if the US economy struggles, does that start to bring silver back in? And I think that's the one slight negative to silver, even though I think it ultimately eventually gets up to that $50 level. If we do enter a recession, let's say late this year or 2025, how does that come into play with the chart itself? I think gold for the most part is the safety play. It's the kind of the hedge against fear. But silver, that industrial side, it does make me question the momentum in the near term? Like, what's the better play, gold or silver? For me right now, anyways, it's gold.
Gareth Soloway mentioned that gold could close at a new all-time high today, showing strength this year. After breaking out from the 2050-2060 level last year, it now has more staying power. He thinks caution might be warranted, but there's also a chance gold could rally to 2,500 soon. Soloway pointed out that the spot gold price is Zao and varies by currency. Gold is up 15.88% this year, with a 52-week high of $2,483.74 on July 17, 2024, and a low of $1,810.10 on October 6, 2023. He noted the spot price reflects real-time transactions, but actual investment returns differ due to costs like storage, insurance, and spreads. He mentioned that while gold certificates and ETFs offer liquidity, they come with management fees and tracking discrepancies. He also highlighted that gold reached its highest price of $2,483.74 recently, with a notable high of $1,971.17 in August 2020, driven by economic uncertainty from COVID-19. Regarding gold miners, Soloway expects them to potentially lead gold prices. He noted miners underperformed due to inflation but should now outperform as gold rises faster than inflation. He predicted a short-term pullback in the GDX to around 32 before reaching 2023 highs of 36. On silver, Soloway observed it trading above $28, with excitement among stackers. He believes silver could eventually reach $50, but must first break the $30 level. He expressed concern about silver's industrial role, which might impact its price if the U.S. economy struggles, making gold the better play for now.